Alright, so this is not the picture that I wanted to start with. But this. Okay, I probably should have started with that picture right there because that's a reservoir lake in Arizona. And it looks a lot different now, but it used to be a place that I went fishing when I was a kid. And they used to put fish in there for you to go and catch out of that reservoir. It used to be at the end of Dobson Road, and then there was, I think it used to be a dirt road, and then there was an Indian reservation. It looked nothing like this. Like there were no turtles or ducks or, or like fun things like they have now. Like now they have like all kinds of interesting stuff there. Like they have like a park for kids, and everyone looks happy. And I mean, I kind of had some hair like that when I was a kid, but anyways, so one time I went fishing there at this place, and so one day I was down there fishing. We fished for catfish, and I had my poles in the water, and there was a splash in the water, like it was a fish had jumped out there, and I thought for sure that there was a fish that had jumped out in the water, and then I had a dog named Sarge. It was a black lab, and they loved the water. So my dog Sergeant jumped in the water and went after that fish. And then as he was swimming out to the fish, there was a game warden, like a fishing game warden, on the other side of the pond, who was yelling to keep the dog out of the water. And so I was like, Sergeant, come on, get out of the water, just leave the fish alone. And then I looked, and Sergeant started swimming back, and he had like a stick in his mouth. So like he went out there to get a fish and came back with a fish or a stick. He came back with a fish stick. Not the splash. He saw a splash. He thought it was a fish. I thought it was a fish. Sarge swam out there. It was a stick. I'm just gonna say, okay. He came back with a fish stick, and so then Sarge came out of the water. I got the stick from him. Or wait, did I get the stick from him? No, I didn't get the stick from him. Sarge came out of the water, and my dad got the stick from him. 'Cause that's right, my dad was standing behind me, and he was the one. It wasn't a fish at all. It was a stick the whole time. And then my dad threw the stick over my head in the water, and it made a splash like a fish. And then Sergeant jumped back in the water and went after that fish stick again. And I'm like, man, what are you doing, Dad? Like, you're gonna scare away all the fish in the fish and game warden on the other side of the pond. He thought the same thing, because he was like, I told you to keep your dog out of the water. And he got really mad, and then he started like running around the pond, like he was gonna arrest my dad or give him a ticket or something. And so I wasn't sure, like, and so my dad was like, come on, Sarge, get out of the water, get out of the water, like, and I was thinking, man, it's probably too late for that. He's running around the pond, the fishing game warden, he's like on his radio, he's like looking really angry and stuff, and then Sergeant comes out of the water, and and they take off. my dad and my dog Sergeant, they take off with the truck, and I wanted to take off with them, but I was fishing and I had to reel the poles in, so I started reeling the poles in really fast so I could like go and get in the truck with them, because I had no idea my dad was going to do that. And so I'm reeling the pole in really fast, and by the time I look back, like they are already gone. Like Sarge jumped in the truck, and my dad just left me sitting there fishing by myself. And then the game warden, he came over and he saw me sitting there, or he saw me reeling my pole in really fast, and he was like, he looked like he didn't connect that was my dad, but he was like, I think he was suspicious, because he asked me why I was reeling my pole in so fast, and I told him I thought I had a fish, and he just kind of looked at me like a little cross-eyed, and then he got on his radio, and then he ran to his truck, and then he gave chase, but by that time my dad was already gone. And so anyways, I was just sitting there, and then I didn't know what to do. I was like thinking, man, my dad, is he gonna come back and get me? And so I sat there for hours, and it was starting to get dark, and I was afraid to leave. Because, like, the Fish and Game warden, I thought if I just packed up and left right away, he would think that I was with my dad. And then he would question me and find out where I lived. And then he'd know where my dad lived. And then I'd get in trouble from my dad for telling the Fish and Game warden where we lived. And so I had to wait for the heat to die down, literally and figuratively, because we were in Arizona, before I could pack up all the fishing gear and start walking home. And it was like a lot of fishing gear. Like, I had my pole, I had my dad's pole. I think we each had 2 poles. So I had like 4 fishing poles. I had a bucket. I had like weights. I had like, I think there was like, I don't remember. There was like not weights, but you know, the little lead sinkers in the tackle box, because we were trying to throw way across the pond, because that's where the catfish were. So we had these big old heavy lead weights that we used to use. And I had the worms. I didn't have any water, any food to eat, because I didn't think I was going to be there all night. But then I had to start walking home by myself, because my dad left me, and I wasn't sure if he was ever coming back for me. And so luckily my house was only like probably about 3 miles, 3.5 miles, taking some shortcuts. I was just a little kid, maybe like 6 or 7, or probably maybe 8. Maybe I don't even remember. I think I was in like the 5th grade. And so I started walking home, and I was for sure, like, I thought he might send my stepmom back to get me. Like I know he didn't want to be on the road, because you know, the cops probably were looking for him. They were probably looking for that truck. But not even my stepmom came looking for me. And so then I get home, and I walk in the door, and it's dark out by now, right? And like, and my mom, or my stepmom and my dad, they are just sitting there. They're just sitting there, and my dad is like, why are you home so late? Like, it is dark out. Like, where have you been? And like, I didn't even know what to say. And my stepmom was like, she didn't have a clue. Like, he didn't tell her what had happened. He didn't tell her that he had just left me, and I had to walk all the way home with all the, and before I could even say anything else, he was like, you know what? You just need to go straight to bed without supper, and I'm just going to give your supper to Sergeant, your dog. And we were having fish sticks for supper that night, which was my favorite. And so I was really sad about that. Not only did I not get supper, but I didn't get my favorite supper, which was fish sticks. I had to go straight to bed, and that was the story of how I got left at the reservoir in Arizona, because my dad couldn't keep our dog out of the water for some reason.